What are you?
Spooky eyes in the dark hallway. Oh, but that wasn't staged at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like some of these places that are on their websites, like I want to go there. The Assylum was cool and all, but EVP. So I guess I'll click on the tab and so what does EVP stand for? Interesting stuff these people have. This is what the party's
Did
all
you go
about.
to a Buddha?
A Buddha? Yes.
Did you go to a Buddhism place?
That's what I signed up for. It is a nice day.
And welcome to another episode of User Words Podcast. As Aaron decides to eat his microphone right as we start for some reason.
Delicious.
I
haven't eaten lunch yet, so
well, neither have I, but
I'm hungry.
That normally doesn't mean I eat electronics.
Well, it's the phone part that counts.
Did you learn this on your recent haunting experiences? Did you learn that eating the microphone is what you do?
It's fuel.
It's fuel?
Yes. Gives you a little shock of life and energy and nutrition. Because there's like fiber, you know.
Did someone possess you while you were gone?
I brought something back with me. No,
that's normal.
This is true.
That's normal. We already tell your mom that she has to sprinkle holy water with you on you at night. Make sure that the demon stays in.
Stay high, stay away.
But anyways, this week is a Joshless special episode of User Words Podcast because Aaron wants to talk about one of his favorite things he did recently. Which
one of my favorite? I wouldn't say favorite things.
Okay, one of your things you did recently.
Yes,
I would imagine it'd be pretty cool.
It was. So
what'd you do recently? And by the way, this is Halloween themed, so
yes,
that's a clue as to what Aaron did.
Spooky.
Go on, Aaron.
So I went to a supposedly abandoned asylum. What was it, last weekend? And so, I don't know. I thought it was going to be somewhat of like a historical tour-ish on this abandoned asylum. And when I got there, like, yeah, no, this is not a historical tour by any means. This is a ghost hunting tour.
Wait. Okay. First, pull back 1 second.
Oh, no.
You went somewhere on the premise of it being a historical tour. Who are you?
I like asylums interest me, like because I've had
because you need to visit there.
Well, I did tell that to my boss. I was like, "Hey, I might fit in. Maybe I won't come back."
Okay,
but I've had a couple friends kind of did some illegal activity, I guess. But they broke into an old abandoned insane asylum thing. And like, I don't know, just like hearing them talk about it seemed really cool. I wanted to go, but I was too broken and busted up to be able to climb 2 stories to get inside.
Okay, so I know who these friends are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just based on that. Mm-hmm. Go on.
But so yeah, like I was like, shoot, well, now I get a chance to go in one. And I was like, sick, and I won't get in trouble for it. I was like, okay.
So you went on a historical, aka educational tour of your own free will.
Yeah. I figured there was gonna be some kind of like stupid like scare stuff supposed to happen.
And did anyone else go with you, or is it just you?
Oh, you already know that answer. No, I went with my friend. I went with a friend of mine.
Okay.
And
what's her name?
Julia. Not really Julia, but
anyways, go on.
Yeah. So yeah, we go to this, and then that's like the first thing that the guy says. It was the people that did it was the Fox Valley Ghost Hunters team, and the guy I guess that founded it just right away said, "Yeah, just so you know, this isn't a historical tour type thing. I've had a lot of people come and think that, but no, that's not what this is. It's just a ghost hunting tour. And I was like, great. So
yeah, I love your expression.
yeah,
Great.
Because I don't know, I guess leading up to it, I was kind of like in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, what if they like did like Ouija board stuff? I was like, I don't want to play around with any of that stuff. So I was like, little nervous on that part. But thankfully, they didn't do any of that kind of voodoo. But yeah, we get in there. And the other thing that was also very kind of disappointing for me was the building is not really abandoned. I was like,
what do you mean it's not abandoned?
it's being renovated.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it stopped for a while, but it's like it's not like it's just nothing anymore.
So any ghosts that were there are probably like on vacation while it's being renovated. You know, like how you leave your apartment while it's being worked on.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So no, like I was still excited to go walk throughout the building and just see what it was like inside. It was kind of cool. Trying to think of, and the building it was at was an asylum in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan.
Okay.
And so yeah, heading out there. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Trying to think. I thought it was
anything spooky happened.
Not that I had seen or saw, but other people are claiming, oh, I keep seeing this head pop out of this door. Like it like leans out, looks, and then goes back inside. Like someone was claiming to see that.
You know how much I wonder if they're just screwing with you?
Oh, yeah. That? Well, and the thing was, yeah, they had a lady from a group before us. Like every once in a while, like, because there was two teams. Like they separated the people, and they each went to different parts of the building. Right. But as they were coming, like as they would move to new areas, sometimes they'd do like a whole Marco Polo thing to see where the other team is. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they said that, when someone said Marco, one of the ladies thought it'd be funny to whisper Polo and just like get a reaction out of people like, oh, it's responding to us kind of thing. And so, yeah, they don't really take too kindly to that kind of stuff because then they get excited, but then it's like, it's just a joke. And it's like, oh.
It's like, oh, you're screwing with us.
Yeah. So, well, like, yeah, so there was that. And then, like, I guess the freakiest part for me was we went down into, like, the basement of the area and we're kind of going through, like, some tunnel or whatever. And so, like, and it was a small little section. Like, we couldn't all fit in this area. We brought chairs with us and stuff. So she was like, well, why don't we just sit in the hallway? And I was like, okay. So we were sitting in the hallway. And then everybody else was, I mean, we were like all next to each other, but like we were kind of on our own in a sense. But so yeah, as I looked down the long hallway, there was like a light from a door, like at the end. I was like, okay, so all right. And it was funny because like every stop we made, nothing happened besides like the person that's like, oh, I keep seeing like this head peek or whatever. And when we're in the basement, someone claimed to have their hair kind of like being pulled. And then apparently there was some spirit walking back and forth behind the doorway or whatever. But the people that were like, I don't know, what do you call them? The ghost hunters.
The ghost hunters, sure.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense.
The paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
The searchers of the bumps in the nights.
The leaders of the group.
The seekers of the funnies.
The seekers of the funnies? That's a cute name.
Well, they need to find more funny people to be in their band.
True. I suppose. But yeah, like they're saying, like, well, the last group we were with, we were getting a lot of activity and stuff. And I was like, well, you ain't getting anything now.
And all the demons were fleeing from your holy aura.
I know. I'm not going to lie. That did cross my mind a few times. No! I was like, stay away. And it was kind of funny because as I picked up my friend and we're leaving to head there, she's like, "Do you have like a cross on or anything like that?" And I was like, "I mean, I've got a cross tattoo." I was like, "You don't." I was like,
"Cross in itself isn't.
It's not going to save you from anything."
Just like in the Catholic Church, partaking in communion does not save you.
Yeah,
and that one's going to get me killed.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
Well, like no, so there was all that stuff was going on. But yeah, like that basement part was the scariest part, I guess, if anything, because like, I mean, anytime you look in just like a black, just nothingness, like I don't know, your mind kind of likes to play with you a little bit, and you feel like you can see something.
Well, especially because, okay, I'm going to make an assumption here. Tell me if I'm wrong. A semi-abandoned, since it's in the middle of remodeling, apparently, asylum, basement, it's going to be pretty dark.
Oh, absolutely. And we turn all of our lights off.
Yeah. So
once we sit down.
Guess what we don't like as humans? Darkness.
Yeah.
We don't like sitting in the dark. I remember as a kid, me and my cousins, and I have a lot of cousins, because the adults would be like, go somewhere else. And so we would always do ghost hunting. Okay, quote unquote, nice. Ghost hunting. So we'd go in the basement, hide under the stairs, shut off all the lights, and just kind of wait around for anything. And the thing that would always freak us out, I remember, is like seeing the little shiny like eyes.
Yeah.
And as a kid, we thought, oh, ghosts! Yeah. But as I get older, I realized, oh, that was probably a rat or a mouse.
Right. Yeah, just a little animal.
And what's funny is I'm looking at this Fox Valley Ghost Hunters Association site.
Mm-hmm.
One of the photos, they have a picture of some glowing eyes.
Yeah.
And they highlight it like, here's proof of a ghost. I'm like, you do realize that's probably like an animal in the background.
Yeah. Especially depending on where it's at and what the building's like.
I mean, it was an old, if you look through, it's an old decrepit building with water on the floor, and it's way back in the dark.
So it's
staring at the person.
Yeah.
Gee, I think it's probably an animal of some sort.
Well, yeah, and like seeing just going off of the photos on, like the few photos that they have on their main page, it's like some of the buildings, it's like the windows are gone. So anything can get up and in there.
Yeah.
And or like, even, I guess depending on the camera too, like there could be, I don't know, dust particles or something in the air.
Well, having dust particles like that would represent
perfectly,
would be really hard.
It would be.
Okay, I'll grant that at all.
Yeah.
So it's either an animal or, hey, maybe it is a ghost. But here's my question, and maybe you've thought about this or haven't thought about this. Why is it that ghosts almost all the time, like 99% of the time, can be captured on electronic devices, but yet we can hardly ever see them ever? But yet the camera that happens to be sitting in the corner just happens to catch the ghost.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind. I'm just like, sure, okay, fine.
See, my thing, I guess, about it is also I was wondering when we got to the first room to start doing all this stuff, the lady sat down and was talking. She's like, well, so just to let you guys know, I firmly believe that the spirits that are in here are just like you and me. They're just sitting here roaming the halls, got nothing to do. And yeah, they're just, I don't know. Like she said, like you and me kind of thing. I'm like, okay. I don't believe that personally, but.
No, neither do I. Because here's the thing, especially come from that Christian point of view.
Yeah.
When you die, you're either going heaven or hell.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. You don't become an angel. Sorry, people. You don't. You don't grow wings and go, I am going to fly and play a harp. You don't do that. Okay. Just the same as you go to hell. You don't all of a sudden grow horns and a tail. And as much as Aaron would like that.
I mean,
okay. Now that being said, there are such things as demons. We have proof of that in the New Testament. Now, could some of these ghost things be demonic in nature?
That's what freaked me out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I would grant that. But I wouldn't say it's your dead Aunt Janice that's watering the hall.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one thing was, Wow, my mom was telling me a story about some like pastor or something like that went on a haunted tour of some hotel, and apparently there was this couple that got married, and they're at the hotel. The wife was going downstairs. She fell and died, and her ghost haunts that area, or like
Right.
they see her walking along the stairs, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, can I give you like more of like a biblical kind of, perspective on this? He's like, that could be a demon, or like it's like a demon type thing. She's like, oh, no. We just like to think of it as being Casper the ghost kind of thing. And I was just like, nice.
Yeah, because, that's going to be so friendly.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing, like, because can demons then take like form of old, just like spirit stuff and make you think that it's them?
Why not? Deceiver types.
Yeah.
You go into old mythologies, the oldest mythologies around, and this is why they say that, she died and she haunts this place. I'm not talking, okay, for a second here, talking about the mythologies, right? Why does a person turn into a ghost typically?
Do we have a spirit?
Well, yeah, we have a spirit,
Soul?
but why?
Oh, why?
Why wouldn't you die? Would you not, or would you turn into a ghost or not turn into a ghost? What's the difference? Typically, the difference is with mythology, you have something that you feel like you still need to accomplish and do.
So you're waiting to be released from yeah.
Well, let's say someone killed you and you wanted revenge.
So until that person is taken care
until
of.
until that person was killed, you would be a ghost and you couldn't be released, and you'd be tortured and haunting the mansion.
Right.
She just got married, so what is her reason for haunting?
Right. Those stairs got her. She's gonna wait until that place rots.
So, what?
Go figure. I just started thinking about RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quest in there where there's like this skeleton was put in a coffin, but this ghost haunts the place because they stole his skull and had that hidden somewhere. So until you found his skull and returned it back to the rightful place, he was haunting the area. And then I set him free by bringing a skull back.
So, okay, this sounds weird.
Uh-oh.
How many common types of ghosts and spirits are there, according to the ghost hunters?
How many common?
Yeah.
10? I don't know.
5.
Oh, okay.
So your 5 common types of ghosts, according to your ghost hunters, are the interactive personality. So Grandma Johnson dies, and you really need to see Grandma Johnson, and she just appears to you and can, in her form, and make
Somehow
gestures.
communicate.
Yeah. The ectoplasm or ectomist. It's like a fog that can swirl around above the ground and move. And
Yeah.
the poltergeist. That's your tip. Well, when they say the poltergeist, that's like your noisy ghost that's like rattling the chains.
Yeah.
And orbs.
Yes, that was when they were talking about.
Yep.
That's one that they've like never been actually able to capture. Or that people hope that they might have, but capturing one is apparently hasn't been done. I don't know.
Interesting, because they say orbs are the most photographed type of anomaly.
What? Really?
This isn't from the Fox Valley. This is from another ghost hunting association.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah, I know. It says that it is believed that the orbs are the souls of a human or an animal that has died and is traveling around from place to place.
Huh. I could have sworn the lady that was talking was like, yeah, everybody, like that's like the end goal is to get a picture of an actual orb or a sighting of an actual orb. There's so many apparently like pictures that people think they do, but it's just either something in the lens or something ridiculous. I don't know.
Oh, you know what the 5th type is? A funnel ghost.
Funnel?
Uh-huh. Usually the shape of a swirling funnel, and most people believe they are loved ones returning for a visit.
That makes me hungry.
Wait, what?
I want some funnel cake.
Okay. Uh-huh. Did they tell you one of the indications, again, from mythology, that a ghost is near you?
The cool, like the chill.
The chill, yeah.
That was one that when we were in the basement of the place, as we were sitting, like Julie was like, she's like, I think I just had a chill. I was like, well, I didn't feel anything. And then, but I was like, this whole place is cold. So, and like, that was like another thing too, because like, in one of the sections that we were at, there was leaking from the ceiling. So there had like pools all over the place, like collecting water. So like in certain sections, like, well, yeah, you can't really count on any noises because all that water is going on. You can't distinguish what would be a ghost and what's just water. But then they also had several windows open, and it was super windy outside.
Oh, of course.
And I was just like,
How was that again? Yeah, and at that point, it's like, okay, what?
We're not going to catch it. So then they went to, was like the voice box thing.
Oh, the voice box. I'm glad you brought that up.
I just don't understand.
So I actually pulled this up from Fox Valley's Ghost Hunters website.
Okay.
They have examples of sounds. So I'm going to play one here for you.
Okay.
I'm going to play it, and you tell me what they're supposedly saying. So. Any idea?
No.
So apparently they say, he loves me. He loves me. Listen again and see if you can hear that he loves me. See, because I read it ahead of time, I could hear it. Yeah. But okay, so listen again. I can hear in the background. It's like a high school girl. It's creepy.
I guess. I don't know. That still seems like a bit of a stretch. But when we did the voice box, nothing ever sounded like that.
Yeah, you could tell that this one is like amplified greatly.
Well, whatever they were doing was, so it's got that static noise, so the white noise thing.
Yeah.
But instead of being constant like that, it was just like
yeah.
And then it was just bouncing. You'd hear radio frequencies.
Yeah.
You never heard anything like what was just played.
Yeah, and that's why they have this says the best of, because supposedly this is their biggest proof, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Here's the ghost box, another ghost box.
Rick here, say hi to Rick. Wow.
And again, because I was able to, I read it. I could, but some of that might be my brain. Since I read it already, it's looking for it.
Yeah.
Now, so apparently it says "Hi, Rick" back, and because I read it, I could hear that.
The "Hi, Rick."
Yeah. You know, it sounds like a horrible AM radio, but
yeah, right.
But you know, because you heard the ghost hunter say, "My name is Rick," and then a few seconds, like almost like a second later, it said, "Hi, Rick," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Now, so the other thing is when they were doing that, I don't know. Yeah, they'd ask for questions or whatever, and like how if it's just picking up radio frequencies, how are you supposed to know? Is it when you get a strong frequency? It's like, oh, is that a way of it trying to say this to me, kind of thing, or like what the whole ordeal with that? Or is it supposed to be some specific voice that doesn't sound like anything else that's just randomly being coming in from radio stuff?
It's the whole, I guess I'll say this, the whole pseudoscience that the paranormal stuff, people use,
Mhm.
some of it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So the EVPs, kind of what we were hearing there in the voice box stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
It says basically there's sounds on electronic recordings, as you
Yep.
heard, right?
Yep.
Interpreted as spirit voices. And
Mm.
the fact that, you have your definitions of these ghosts, supposedly, that can communicate in all these ways, but you have to go and invent this new way to supposedly hear what they say.
Mhm.
I have a lot of skepticism about it, and honestly, because you have that your EFPs, you have your EMFs, because essentially what they're saying at that point then is because it's a spiritual energy, a ghost of some sort, is going to emit some sort of electromagnetic field.
Mhm.
And that's how you can detect that someone is here when it's really not. Which, okay, if you took someone back to maybe the 1800s, you gave them an EMF reader, and all of a sudden they got an EMF pulse, something's going on. But nowadays,
Well, so all the other things that are interacting.
hello, cell phones.
Which, yeah, that was one. That was one thing that they asked. Well, I guess they didn't ask everyone, but I had heard them talking to one person say, "Yeah, put your phone on airplane mode," or something. But I was like,
And even if you put your phone on airplane mode,
"Yeah,
okay, I put my flashlight
flash."
on. It still has sensors in here.
Yeah,
Because there's an accelerometer, there's a gyroscope, there's compass.
yeah,
And guess what? The compass isn't your old school compass with a magnet.
no,
It's electric magnet.
yeah,
All of the sensors in your phone are electric. Guess what? They're giving off EMF, whether it's in airplane mode or not. Yes,
Yeah.
you're going to reduce the number, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Fine,
Might as well
whatever.
just turn it off.
And then if you have anyone with a hearing aid with you,
Yeah, that
You're
yeah,
done.
Which that I didn't. No, I didn't.
I know, but
didn't
I mean,
check anybody.
they wouldn't check that,
No.
Or like me, okay, if I went, right?
Mhm.
I don't have my watch because it's on the charger. I left it on the charger today. But that shoots off a ton of EMF. My phone shoots off a ton of EMF.
Mhm.
I have a couple cards in my wallet.
Not shoot off EMF.
Yeah.
What? What?
Well, they're NFC. So if they get close to something, they have the capability to emit. Because we're not talking, EMF isn't a special thing. It's just anything electromagnetic.
Yeah.
Your Wi-Fi is EMF. Your Bluetooth.
My
all this stuff is
goodness.
EMF. So it's like, oh look, we're using an EMF sensor. That's what I said. If you took someone and blasted them back to like the 1800s and gave them an EMF reader from today, and all of a sudden it started going crazy.
That's
Okay.
might be something going on.
But today, how many cell phone towers do we have?
Probably a few, maybe.
And
One or
especially, so this was in Wisconsin. Right now, the big thing in Wisconsin is let's not put up more 5G. We don't know what 5G does. Well, guess what? 5G runs on a whole different wave frequencies than everything else before. Guess what? That's probably screwing with your EMF as well.
Oh. So there's really no good way to really tell.
It's
Like
one of
this.
honestly, it's one of those things of if you believe it, EMF is going to say, "Oh, look, it's proof."
Right.
But if you don't believe it, it's like, okay, this is some crazy pseudo whatever.
yeah.
Same with the voice box stuff and everything else.
Mhm.
Because yeah. Here's another one supposedly. No, I won't play that. That's like 3 minutes long. Never mind.
Oh wow.
It was someone's supposedly sneezes and someone says "bless you," but I mean, it's like seriously. Let's see here. Maybe you can hear this one. Oh. Any idea what that's supposed to be?
Sounded like someone moaning because something was like fell. And I heard like, I guess whispering, but I have no idea what.
You got half of what they described it as.
What, the whispering or the
the voices.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be girls laughing. I didn't get that at all.
No.
And some voices.
Oh, I got the goosebumps coming now.
Do you know, huh?
No.
Oh.
It is pretty chilly in here.
I'm sorry. It is, but that's okay. That's because the big doors are open to the outside.
Or is it? Dun, dun, dun. No, it is. Well, I don't know if they are anymore because it's pretty dark in the hallway. I hope not.
No, it's not dark. That's just the black smoke coming.
So what do we
Sorry,
do now?
never mind. You don't watch Supernatural.
I don't. I'm scared now.
In Supernatural, demons travel via black smoke.
Oh, well, great. Now I feel even better.
Our friend Andy Durst would get that reference because he watches Supernatural as well.
Andy.
Yeah, so he would get that
Reference.
Yep. Which Supernatural is one of those shows that I don't know how I got started watching it, but once I started watching it, I binge watched everything on it. And now we're at the final season, so now I'm watching that as well. But I mean, it's one of those that when it started off, it tried to, I shouldn't say try to stick. Anyways, it kind of did like the Christian mythos, their version of it. And then it diverged off greatly. It added in all this other stuff. And now the final season's coming back to the Christian mythos. But in their version, God is the enemy.
What? Interesting.
Yeah. They killed Lucifer. Well, I don't know if he's dead in this season or not. He's dead or weakened or something. And then God gets angry because they don't kill someone that he tells them to. And so he's like, fine, you do this. And just like snaps his fingers and like all the gates of hell open up and all the demons come into the world. I was like, oh, that's an interesting take.
The show's called Supernatural?
Yeah. It's on a channel you probably don't watch. The WB.
What's WB?
Channel 18 over the air here. It has like the DC shows on there. Arrow, Green Arrow.
Sure.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Batwoman.
Okay.
Although that one's kind of Supergirl's over there now. That one's kind of The Flash.
Oh, okay. Is it on like Netflix or anything?
Not on Netflix, but it's on their own app. They have an app, the CW app.
Oh.
Actually, no, I take it back. Past seasons are on Netflix.
Past seasons. Okay.
Yeah. So you can splurge all 14 seasons of Supernatural.
How many episodes are in a season? Roughly.
15 to 20.
Oh! How long are the episodes roughly?
45 minutes. That's why I said splurge.
That's a big time commitment.
Well, it's not like you have to sit there and watch every detail. You can listen to it while you do other things. That's how I did it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not like you have to pay attention to visual clues on the screen. But what's funny is, so Supernatural, again, the show, I don't know how I got started watching, but I did. Anyways, they deal with exactly that, the supernatural. So they deal with a lot of the ghost stuff. So I actually know a lot of the ghost stuff just from
watching that show.
Now, they take some of their own liberties, of course. Like ghosts can't cross salt, apparently, in their universe. And you can use iron to dissipate a ghost. And the ghost can reform, but, that'll at least give you temporary relief to run away.
Get away.
And the only way to destroy a ghost in that world is to burn the body or item of which it's attached to.
Oh.
So, if Grandma Johnson was haunting your house, you'd have to
bury him up,
dig up her body, and burn her corpse.
That's messed up.
That's what they do in that show. Yeah, so it's a little weird at times.
So when you mentioned that, it made me think of the I think it's like an opening scene for like the Evil Dead or whatever. This girl's like possessed or whatever, and then her dad has her tied up to some pole in the basement, says some words, lights are on fire. And she's trying to be sweet and act like his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this to me? And then he finally like starts to set her on fire. And then the demon really comes out of her. What was that? And then starts like, has that freaky, weird, like high and low voice. And then he shoots her while she's burning. And then it's all taken care of.
Yeah.
That stuff is, I wonder if I should even be watching that at times. Or going on these ghost hunts. But what was that you were just playing?
I'll play it for later because that's like a 2 hour, not 2 hour. Wow.
2 hour. Wow.
2 minute. It's the Supernatural season 15 trailer. I was trying to, because the theme song of Supernatural, I was trying to see if they had it in there, because if it's from their official trailer, I can use it then. But it wasn't the song. But their theme song is Carry On My Wayward Son. Like that is like the entire series revolves around that song.
That song.
Yeah.
It's a good song though.
No, it is. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, back to your thing of should you even be going on ghost hunts and that. And that begs another question then. And this one's more directed at me. Should I be watching Supernatural stuff?
Well, and that's like, because I mean, growing up in the high school years, it was always fun to go watch a horror movie in someone's basement with all the lights off and just spook yourselves out. And like, I mean, I guess it's as entertaining.
I want to do that sometime, but here's the big but. I want to prepare the basement ahead of time to be synced with the movie. So like I hit a button on a computer somewhere that starts when the computer starts or the movie starts. And so like at certain points in the movie, like a fan gently comes on and gives them a nice little breeze on the back of their neck. Or maybe, in a frightening scene, like squirt guns all of a sudden shoot everyone in the face or something like that. That'd be great. Just have it timed with the movie. Like, especially like if it's a movie like maybe where someone's walking and like blood is dripping from the ceiling and have some water drip on people's heads.
I am never watching a horror movie with you.
Now that would be fun.
That would be super entertaining, but terrifying.
Hey, that's the whole point. I want it to be terrifying. I want it to be entertaining. And I just want to have fun with it.
It's a night you will remember.
And then somewhere in the corner, there will be an infrared camera recording the entire thing.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Get the reactions. That would be pretty priceless.
Yes, exactly. Especially like the blood dripping on someone's head.
I would lose it.
Or like, during a scene of a movie, like where like maybe there's some footsteps, add some extra footsteps into speaker sound.
Well, that's where you get surround sound type thing and make it seem like it's all around you.
Or like, watch the movie Arachnid and at one point during the movie, just drop a big box of fake spiders on everyone. That would get you, wouldn't it?
I've lost interest.
You lost interest.
But like,
I mean, I don't know. Okay.
It boggles, it freaks me. Well, okay, because they don't have the same viewpoint that I do. They just think it's a normal, more often than not, apparently a more friendly, like, spirit than anything. Because then I was thinking, like, well, what if it's a mean spirit? Like, what if it wants to harm us, kind of thing?
A vengeful spirit?
Yeah.
That wants to see everyone it sees die?
Yeah. I was like, dude, I don't. How do you tell whether it's a friendly one or? I mean, I guess it would come after us if it was vengeful. But how do you know that from the get-go of seeing it for the first time? And then, there was. Well, I guess going back to the whole EMF thing, they had the second to last room, it was like flashing green a lot. And then it'd stay like a solid green for a while.
Okay.
And then just nothing. And like the lady she'll ask questions. But then like a lot of the time, before she even got to the point of asking it, it would start going like bonkers. And then she'll ask the question and just won't do anything for like a good long while. And then maybe it'd like flicker or go off.
Right.
And the other thing I guess I didn't understand was because like, all right, so it was like a solid green. She's like, okay, it's like you're doing good. Now if you can change the color to purple. She's like, I just need you to change the color to purple. I was like, why does it have to be purple? And then it got to orange. She's like, oh, you're almost there. And then just went back to green, just never got anywhere near that again.
So what they were trying to do at that point was to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the color that they requested, so that whatever that frequency, that strength of that EMF burst was, that it was being directed there from the ghost. That's what they're trying to do, to prove it.
Yeah. Well, that didn't happen. And the other thing is, it's like, it was so random because it's like when she asked a question, sometimes it'd go off when she asked it. But a lot of the time, it would start going crazy before she even had the chance to ask. And then when she was asking at other times, other questions, it just wouldn't respond. Just nothing. And then just as we were talking as a group, then it'd just randomly go off again. Like,
someone got a text message.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I did receive text messages. When I was leaving, I had received a few messages on my phone. An hour or so prior to us leaving. I was like, oh.
You were the orange.
Sorry, guys. That was a funny thing about the night. They're like, okay, so when we're asking questions or if we're listening for stuff and you have people with upset stomachs and, if you have a bodily function, just admit it's you. And there's a lot of people's stomachs just like growling a lot in our group. It's kind of funny.
Question for you.
Yeah.
What time of the day did you perform said
stuff?
Yeah.
We went to a 10:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. Thing.
Okay. I was just curious because according to this article, most ghost hunters, professional, work midnight to 4 a.m. So that's what I was wondering. If you were even in that range.
Yep. We were.
Okay.
And besides that second to last room with the EMF thing going off a little bit, we had nothing. Well, as far as I was concerned, nothing at all. Because I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. And I didn't make sense of anything that they were apparently getting from the voice box, like for like two of the rooms that we were in.
Yeah, that voice box, honestly, unless you read it ahead of time, I don't honestly know how you could hear some of that.
No. So, I mean, unless you're just counting on the radio signals to be like, make a message out of whatever it was you asked. Like, oh, what's your name? And then just some random thing comes up. Oh, Adam. Oh, hi, Adam.
So you have the bumblebee method of ghost hunting.
Sure.
Bumblebee.
Oh,
Transformers.
Hello. Yes. Okay. Yes, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Yes, that's what it was. Apparently, there was when we were in the basement. Supposedly, they had come across this guy named Steve down there. That was this ghost.
Okay.
And another point, they had asked what they were doing. They're just hanging out with some friends, drinking Hennessy down in the basement of this asylum. I was like, oh, how exciting. I was like, you should get some good stuff. But later on, after we leave the basement, no, that was another thing. Like there's like a walk-in freezer in the basement. And that was like one, I guess you could say, historical part they had of information on it.
Wow, a freezer.
Well, it's because they said like apparently people didn't like going in there because once they would walk in, the door would shut on them, and then they couldn't get out unless somebody else helped them out. I'm like, spooky. Okay.
What, do they like lock it closed and it start filling up with sand and you're like,
but then I guess there was one nice thing about our group specifically. There was a lady that had worked there in our group.
okay.
So she kind of knew some stuff and could point some things out, I guess.
So you still got your educational trip you were looking for.
A little bit, yeah.
Look at this.
So-
Mr. Johnson, masters in asylum seeking.
Yeah, yes. But like, yeah, so I mean, when there was times, yeah, we went to like the men's side of the building, then we went to the women's side, and we went to what was the chapel, which was down in the basement.
Was the chapel haunted too?
Supposedly, there's a little girl that they had come in contact with in the chapel.
Sure.
And that was like, they have like those like a motion sensor light. How is that supposed to work?
Wait. If a ghost is EMF, gaseous, non-corporeal, I don't know how a motion sensor would work.
I don't.
Unless it's an infrared motion sensor. Because they
Maybe.
do say, according to all of them, that the ghost can sometimes be recorded with infrared.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I know.
that would be my only guess, is if it's an infrared-based motion sensor. If it's a laser-based, that'd be interesting to know if ghosts can be recorded by a laser. See, what I would like to know is, like 100 years from now, okay? When we have more advanced technology than we do now,
Yeah.
will all the ghost hunters be like, I have to use all the old stuff to detect the ghost? Because the new stuff will be like, yeah, there's nothing there. I'm not being fooled.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be interesting to see what happens with that. But I won't be here 100 years from now. But maybe it won't take that long.
Unless we upload your brain to a computer and you can just watch it from the computer screen.
That's okay. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting experience. I wish I could remember what years that building was built, but I thought it was like, it said it was active from like the 40s until the early 2000s. Like 2001, I thought I heard them say it shut down. So I mean, I don't know. It was for the rooms. That was one thing we were wondering, because for like a
By the way, you paid a hefty sum to go to that too.
it was $50 for a
Yeah, I
ticket.
just pulled up their thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, as far as the asylum,
Mm-hmm.
it was first opened in 1882.
18. What?
Yep. And then,
These people don't even know then.
okay, 1882, right? That like the first version of it. And then like it was rebuilt, and the current building there
Yeah.
was built in 1940.
Okay.
And then it was closed in 2002.
2002. Okay.
Yeah. So it was only an asylum until 1978. In 1978, they discontinued mental ill. They called the mentally ill services, and it became a home then for
Okay.
developmentally disabled and chronically ill.
Okay.
So yes, it still housed some developmentally ill people, but it wasn't like they were there in an asylum. They were there in an apartment with medical assistants.
Okay. Yeah. And then that second to last room, when that lady was talking to whatever supposedly it was that was there, and the meter was going off, she kept like asking, is it just you that's here with us? Is there another spirit? How many are with us, if there is? And then she got to the point where she was just asking like a number after number. Are there 8 of you here? Are there 9 of you here? And like went on and on. She's like, I'm getting scared. I don't want to keep going up. And then it ended up being, are there any more than 15 here? Are there no more than 15? I don't know. At the end of the thing, I guess they figured there's 14 there with us. And then she's like, I don't want to ask this question. And I was like, And then she ended up asking, are you all like stuck here, or like are you all trapped, kind of thing. But like she like seemed to get like super emotional about it. I was like,
well, if you're concerned about them being stuck there, then burn down the building. They have nowhere to be stuck to.
yeah, perfect solution. Hey, there you go, guys. That's how you fix it. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess my whole thing that I was thinking about though while I was going for if not believing what they do, but like believing that you could come across like a demonic kind of spirit. I was like, why would you want to be trying to contact these things? This is not fun. It's scary.
Okay, so there's actually so there's a couple things here. One, we still have the question unanswered of should you go on ghost hunting trips and these shows and that. Secondly, your last thing kind of leads into another question: why do people believe in ghosts?
I don't know. Don't try to do that kind of creepy stuff to me, even though I saw you do it. I don't like that.
I wish I was a ventriloquist and you wouldn't see my lips move. And
oh, no. I guess why would they? Why, like, where did the whole idea of ghosts become a thing? Or, I mean, so are ghosts and spirits and all that stuff all in the same?
Ghosts and spirits. Right. They're incorporeal beings, yes.
Because then what's the difference between, like, demons and angels?
Well,
I'm not saying, like, demons and, like, but, like, okay, so it's, like, it's a demonic or an angelic presence.
Yeah, as I say, from a theological standpoint, we know that demons are fallen angels.
Yes.
Okay. Boop, boop, back. Beyond that, though, I don't know how, outside of the Christianity bubble, how you would distinguish between a good or an evil spirit until it either tries to kill you or bless you.
Right. Yeah. For real. Until it, yeah.
Does it try to stab you, or does it try to say, hi, I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost?
I'm here to help you. Well, that was another thing. I mean, because, being a believer, you are safe from, I guess, being physically harmed from a but
it's still not like but to be fair, like a demon could still, I don't know, hurt someone else or possess them, and then
that could come out on me.
Then they go, ooh, look, I have a dagger. Whack, 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 whack. Like Child's Play.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Child's Play. What a classic.
So in a way, yes, you could still be harmed through demonic influence and presence.
Right.
But I think one of the reasons why people believe in ghosts is, even if they're not Christian, in that Christian world, people still like to believe in an afterlife of some sort. They have to have it. Yeah. People are always looking for an explanation of what happens when we die.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not in the Christian religion and worldview, they're going to look at anywhere else and like, oh, when you die, you become a ghost, or you become one with Gaia, or you become
a cow. Reincarnation, baby.
Yeah. Or if you were bad, you become like a mouse.
Yeah.
But which doesn't explain, though, for the rapid population growth and reincarnation, but whatever. That's not here nor there right now. So we're always looking for something. And humanity, where it likes to believe it or not, because even the people go, we're here and then we're gone. The atheist type, they're still looking, they're still coming up with an existence after life. After their death plan is they poof.
Yeah.
They just poof out existence.
That's the end of it.
But they still have something. That's their explanation. So I honestly, to be fair, okay, imagine living in like the 1700s and that, where your only source of light in that was like candle lights.
Oh, I would love it. Ish, kinda.
But I mean, outside your candles and your lanterns, it's always, at night,
Dark.
it's dark. There's things out there that are scary. You can't see them fully. Things that happen now that we can explain with science, they couldn't explain back then. So you needed a way to explain these things.
Yeah. So they just made up.
So some of this was, they cursed me and put a hex on me, witchcraft, or that's a demonic dog, or that is blah. But I mean, even then, some of that stuff is still used in ghost hunting nowadays. Okay? So according to a psychic medium, dogs growling and barking at certain places on property, and cats gravitating or looking to a particular area. Like you see in cartoons where the cat's like walking around with its back arched and hair on it. They're saying that's areas we want to look at because that is a haunting then.
This is where it comes back. Man, when Josh and I hung out in high school a couple of times, we had we had my sister's dog downstairs with us, and we were like kind of like talking about all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And like Josh was going on about saying like, oh yeah, like animals, they can sense like spirits and stuff like that and whatnot. And
of course.
Like, okay. And so I had like a white like mask, just like a plastic kind of mask you'd get from like Hobby Lobby or whatever.
Okay.
And I mean, it had like, it was like a red, like nasty kind of gross smiley face and all this weird whatever on it. But so as like you walk down my stairs in the basement, so there's like the wall along the stairs, and then there was like stacks of like boards of wood and stuff. And so I took the mask and I was able to like pinch it in between two boards. So it looked like it was kind of like just like peeking around the corner.
Okay.
And so I had done that. And eventually my sister's dog, Sierra was her name. She was starting to walk towards like to exit the room. And then she saw that mask just standing there. Her hair just like raised up. She started growling. And Josh and we thought it was like the funniest thing for a while, but she kept doing it and doing it. And this was like as Josh and I were like looking up like ghost like images and stuff like that. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done. Like I know what she's barking at, but now I'm freaking myself out. So that was one like stupid story. And then there's another time we were in Josh's basement. I don't know if we watched a scary movie. We were just talking about this stuff again.
Uh-huh.
And like we shut off all the lights in the basement. Well, on one side of the basement. And like for me to talk to Josh, I was looking into that dark area, and I just hated looking into the dark because it's like feel like you'd see something over there. I'm just like and freaking out. And then I remember another time as a kid, we were watching like a scary old sci-fi movie of some monster, and
of course.
So this is when I had our dog Scully, and then we had a cat as well. But I was like, whenever like I was for like a party or something.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to click on that.
Oh, that scared me.
I will mute that again. Go on.
Yeah, like my Scully was upstairs, and Dad was like, petting her and stuff like that, and he hit that sweet spot where her leg was moving and like kept hitting the ground.
Yep.
So when we're watching this movie, you start to hear that, and we're like, oh. We all get quiet, and then it stops. We're like, and like we start talking to each other again, and then it starts doing it again. We were freaking out, and then the next thing we knew, we were like looking down in my basement, like it's all open, whatever. We looked across the hallway into an office that was on the other side, and we saw these two glowing eyes, and we were losing it. We were so scared. So I grabbed a tennis racket, another friend grabbed a baseball bat, and we started like walking towards the room. We flipped the lights on, we're getting ready to smack whatever was there. It was my cat.
I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there a story where your sister freaked you out real bad?
Oh, there's those, yeah. But there was also one where she scared a lot of her friends.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
So it was her and a few, friends hanging out at the house. I had to be around at this time, but I wasn't home maybe. I don't know. I don't care. That doesn't matter. Anywho, they were watching this movie called Mothman Prophecies. Well, that I can't get there yet. So they're all downstairs in this office on the computer doing whatever. And at some point, she just randomly mentions that both of our grandparents had died in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of like freak everyone out. And it did, because at some point, there's this like a mug on the desk with pens and stuff in it. Nobody claims to have touched it or anything or messed with it or any of the sort. And the mug just tips over and falls and spills all the pens and pencils. And they're like, oh, freaking out about it.
Of course.
And then later they're watching this movie Mothman Prophecies. And so my sister has had like an injury where her knee will fall out of place kind of thing.
Yeah.
And become dislocated. And they're all upstairs watching this movie. My sister goes downstairs for whatever reason. I don't know what she's doing. But she wants to try and see if someone, like, she wants to pull a joke and see if someone will help her. So she's like freaking out. Oh, like, oh, my knee, it hurts. Whatever. She needs help. Nobody wants to go help her because they just figure she's trying to pull a joke, as she was. But in this movie, there's a part where they're talking to some kind of spirit or whatever in the movie. The Mothman, whatever he is.
Right.
But he's talking about there's this house, a gray house on Monroe Avenue or Monroe Street, which Monroe Street is not too far from my house. But I think he says in Racine, Wisconsin, or just in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And my sister had no idea that this part of the movie was coming up or was a thing. And she cut the power to the whole house as soon as it said in Wisconsin or Racine, Wisconsin. And then power just out right after that part was said. And I guess my parents were rolling up to the house like as that kind of was going on. And they said they just remember seeing all the guys storming out of the house, like getting out before all the girls did and stuff like that, and just screaming and freaking out. Ugh, I wish I was there to witness that. But yeah, so there's like just stupid stuff like that. And I've had at times, like I had a stereo in my room and sometimes it randomly turned on at night, or like I just gotten home from school. I'm watching TV in the living room, and then all of a sudden my stereo turns on and is like blaring loud.
Yep.
So that was weird. I don't understand why that happened. That kind of freaked me out. I just figured maybe it was on some weird kind of timer or alarm type thing that I might have accidentally set up because I didn't know what I was doing with the thing at the time. But then other things that my sister did was she just enjoyed scaring me and putting on a mask and trying to make me cry.
Oh, that's where you get it from.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, and I'm making my sister sound like a bad person.
Oh, no, she's not. She shaped you into who you are.
Yeah.
She's a horrible person.
You're right. She does. She
Just
got messed up.
Just kidding.
She also tried wrapping me up in a comforter for a bed. And then she was dragging me downstairs, and she was saying, Jabba the Hutt wants to eat you and put me in the dryer. And then, man, I was scarred as a kid.
Oh, so that's why you don't do laundry. That was almost a spit take. That was almost a spit take.
Yes, I'm traumatized because I'm afraid it's going to consume me. Did I never tell you that one before? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that happened. So,
wow. Okay.
That's my life as a child.
That explains so much.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
So thankfully she never like turned on the dryer or anything, but
Why not?
yes.
I need a DeLorean just so I can go do that.
So yeah, there's just there's those. But yeah, I mean to I guess kind of go back to I don't know what are we going back to now.
There's so many things to go back to, and so many things I want to go back to, but I'm not going to. So excuse me. Another tool set that's in the Ghost Hunter thing, besides dogs and cats, because now we know about dogs and cats. Do you want to guess, besides the ones we know about, the EMFs, infrared,
like Ouija boards and stuff?
Yes, they use Ouija boards, which is weird.
I don't like those.
They use what they call dowsing rods.
Dowsing rods.
They're constructed of brass in an L shape. It's an old thing. So it was basically believed that you could have this rod, and it was a type of divination, and it allowed you to find groundwater, buried metals, ores, gemstones, oils, grave sites. Weird. It's an old school, like you're talking come over on the Mayflower type of thing, 1700s type thing, deal where it's like, I will use this to help me find water, and it's like a metal detector from the future, but for water. That's essentially what it is that they tried to say it was. And guess how effective it was?
Not effective.
0. But apparently it worked enough where people are like, he has a divining rod. We will follow him to the water.
Trust him.
So, yeah, it's just like, okay, fair enough. They also use air quality monitoring. Because apparently they believe that gases such as carbon monoxide are thought to contribute to paranormal activity. I don't get that one.
I don't get that kind of
like
stuff.
Some of the stuff I get because it coalesces around the stuff, right? But here's one I don't get: a compass.
What does a compass do?
They use it to determine the location of a paranormal spot, like an EMF. So, and I've known of this one too, where like how you had that EMF, right, reader that go to purple. Oh, it only went to orange. Instead, if you had like an old school compass out, with the magnet out, the compass instead of pointing north would be go all spinning around. You throw it up in the air and it'd be like a little gyrocopter running around. Wee, that sort of deal. So that's
pushing things.
Yeah, so
I've never heard of tarot cards.
Tarot cards.
Tarot cards.
It's a fortune teller thing.
Oh, okay. Now I was just looking at I guess what are different things that are used.
Yeah, so if you go to like a psychic medium, type person, you see the little thing, come in today for your psychic reading for $7.99.
What a deal.
It's some of them will do the tarot cards. And they'll be like, you got the upside down king. That means whatever. I don't know what it means because I don't do tarot cards. Okay.
Same.
Now, however, Pathfinder that we play, there's a thing called the deck of many things. So tarot cards read your future, right? Deck of many things makes the future happen. It's like a little magic thing. You pull it.
What?
Ooh, look, I get a magic item. No.
Wow.
But it can also pull it. Oh, look, I die.
Can be a bad thing.
Yes. So there's that. There's a difference between those two. But yeah, so apparently that's used to tell the future and blah, 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 blah. If you believe that shuffling a deck of cards is going to tell your future, I have some land to sell you in Atlantis.
Atlantis? The Lost City.
Yeah, I know where it is. If you believe in tarot cards.
You should show me where this land is.
So you believe in tarot cards?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what I said. I said, if you believe
But
in tarot
I
cards.
almost want to believe in it so you can show me this land. Because then you'll be rich.
Yeah, that would also be bad.
Wait, what?
It would never be dry. It'd always be wet.
You can, but I mean, yeah. I guess.
But yeah, so some of these things are just like, oh, look, all these ghost haunting things. It's like, wow. And, because now it's Halloween, so it's like all the ghosts are around and let's dress as the friendly ghost. And I was trying to remember the movie, and it took me a minute to remember, and I had to look it up. It's actually a movie. It's called Ghost, starring Patrick Swayze. I'm sure if I showed you an image from it, you would you would, because it's been spoofed many times in modern culture. But anyways, in this movie, he dies, and he comes back as a ghost to protect his loved one. And yeah, it's kind of weird. Ghost love between a human and a ghost. It's called a romantic fantasy thriller because, well, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
He's not corporeal. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Which one did you go on?
I was just looking at images, and there's like some like weird, messed up face. I don't like it.
Yeah, but you like your mask.
Ghost House official.
So yeah, I don't really have any ghost stories myself outside of what we do, did with my cousin, because it's always been one of those. Yeah, sure, that exists. Sure.
Not believable.
But you went on the ghost hunting tour, sir.
I almost went all out. Oh, I'm just so glad they didn't have that Ouija board bull crap.
Would you have partook?
No.
Good boy. Good man. Oh, I called you a good boy. I said good man.
Good.
You're no longer a boy.
Yay, No, I shouldn't. No, that totally disproved my whole thing.
Yeah. Nope. Good job. Nope.
Yeah. But I just, no. I don't want to do it. That stuff freaks me out.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
How many, this is unfortunately the latest poll on this, so it's a little old. 2008, okay. In 2008, what percentage of Americans said that they believed in ghosts?
80?
Thankfully lower.
64?
And lower still.
47?
A little bit lower, 34.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it?
Yep.
I feel like so many people especially lately since I've been on that thing.
Well, again, this is from 2008. So,
yeah,
like I said, unfortunately, that was the latest poll that was done on it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, being at work is not a really good way to see how many people use that as a way to tell how many people believe in it. In ghosts, but I mean, yeah, everybody at work's like, oh yeah, this one girl that came in worked with us for a day. She was going on about how they got into some apartment and they had some weird feelings about the place, and there's one time she had gotten done with an argument with whoever. Who's her husband, boyfriend? Well, I don't care. She just remembers all of a sudden feeling somebody put their hands on her sides.
Yeah.
And she freaked out, and there's nobody there, and I was just like, okay.
It could have been just the insects running along your body because of a dirty house.
Yeah, if it was like that. Well, it's like that whole thing. It's like, I hate this, especially at work when this happens, but it's I'll sit down and I'll feel like something's crawling on my leg, and then I'll go look. It's there's nothing there. And then I've had it where it's like, oh, something's crawling on my leg. I just don't even, I was like, there's nothing there. I've checked before.
And then it's a scorpion.
And then, cannot scorpion, not in Wisconsin over here, but.
No, it's fluffy.
Yeah. Then I found like, there's like, then that one time where I was like, oh no, it's just, and I'm just feeling things. Then there is a bug on my leg. I'm like, what the heck? Just irritating. But it's like, yeah, there's so many things where it's like you have a feeling you're getting touched or whatever, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, the thing I have with the issue that I have with all these ghost hunter type groups is they use all this science-y jargon. They try to sound all smart. EMF, blah, 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 blah. But my question really becomes then, what are they really, are they real scientific or not? Because, so I pull this up here. Sharon Hill said that she's a writer for Science, reviewed over 1,000 amateur research and investigation groups, these
ghost hunter
people, and that basically, from a real scientist perspective, when they read through it, everything, she basically said they are not following established scientific processes. So it's like
it's all just mumbo jumbo.
It's like you walking into a room and you want to impress people, and so you use the jargon that you know they will understand and say it, and you have no idea what you're talking about. But you're able to pass it off. You pass your bluff check.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's something that's so easily done nowadays.
Oh, it's easy, especially if you have a fast talker. Fast talker plus confusing language equals what just happened?
Yeah. Just, oh, okay, nod and say yes.
Yeah, so that unfortunately is what you see a lot of these days. So, but before we wrap up here, I wanted to do this one last one here because apparently this is like the most popular one. It's from 2017. I won't tell you what it is.
Sit down here so I don't make any nervous noises.
Apparently we're supposed to hear bless you. After they sneeze. I didn't even get that, and I was the one listening. And I was the one who read it.
I didn't hear that at all. Sorry.
Because the sneeze was like right at the end, and then it cut off. And I was like,
yeah. How do you hear that?
Again, a lot of these, if you go to fvghosthunters.com/EVP, you can listen to them. You can, if you read them ahead of time, you're going to hear what they say. And that's just what it is. I'm sorry. Nothing else can be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other fun things you want to say, Mr. Johnson?
No. Well, I don't know. Just thinking about going back to that question. Is that something I guess as a Christian I should be getting into? I guess. I don't know. I mean, for the mindset I had of it at the start, definitely no issue. I wouldn't imagine if it was more of a historical thing.
Right. I put it as a historical, that one.
Knowing that there's probably going to be some kind of like just spooks to scare people. I don't know. But I mean, I guess it would be different to, be.
Are you going to join the Milwaukee Paranormal Investigation Group?
Yeah, no. I'm
okay.
Not. Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it comes down.
Yeah. Say to actively try and pursue and come in contact with these things. That I would not suggest by any means or say is okay to do. Because that's not what we're supposed to be focusing on. We're having our minds focused on as Christians. We don't want to try and contact demons and all that kind of creepy stuff. So then that also does lead me to, I guess, even thinking about some of the movies. You just have to be careful, I guess, with what you put in your mind at some point.
Yeah, you do. It's you know what that word is called, right?
I will when you say it.
It starts with a D.
Desensitize.
No. Discernment.
Discernment. Yes.
Discernment. Supernatural is one of those happy-go-lucky campy shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can sit here and I can look at it, I can watch it, I can enjoy it, but at the end of the day, I can also say, yeah, their theology is a little whack.
Yeah, and that's
not going to deal with
the
it.
thing.
Yeah. But is this their theology and they're manipulating and changing my theology? No. Okay, so then guess what? Bye-bye. Don't care.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So
that's
about all. Yeah, I mean, that's about all.
Okay. Well,
It was
ghost
an interesting time.
Hey, yeah. And got to hear about Johnson and his wonderful ghost hunting adventures where he failed to meet any ghosts.
Yep.
And then how he almost got fed to Jabba the Hutt. That's so great. That's so great. I owe your sister something when I see her next. I honestly do. That made my month. That made my year. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, unlike ghosts, which aren't real, our social media is real. And you can follow us at UY Words Podcast on Twitter, at Use Your Words Podcast on Facebook. Email us at uywords@gmail.com. And I'll ask this question. Did you hear, before I said what they said, did you hear the he loves me, the girls laughing? Did you hear the bless you after the sneezing? Any of those things? Did you hear the hi, Rick?
Hi, Rick.
Also, can you count how many times I said the word Aaron in a whisper tone into the microphone that even Aaron didn't pick up? Because there were times where I went like this, so you couldn't see my mouth moving. I went,
I didn't hear him.
I know. So my question is, how many did I do? Including that one I just did.
So I know of 2 so far.
Let us know on that, if you could hear all those things.
Comment.
And then also, are you a believer in ghosts? And have you gone on any ghost hunting expeditions as well?
Oh, yeah.
And if you have, shoot us the proof of said ghost.
That or just, where you went. Because we took that trip to Seattle. And before we started doing the whole group thingy with the ghost hunters, they're like, hey, so has anyone else been to like some type of haunted place? I didn't know there's tunnels in Seattle that are supposedly haunted.
I didn't know that either. Maybe I'll go. I am going back to Seattle this year. Maybe I'll go check them out.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking at the conference again.
Nice.
All right. So, so go ahead, send us, because basically look at it this way. You need to evangelize to me and Aaron that ghosts are real.
Yeah.
Send us your best proof. Send us your best recordings, audio, voice boxes, EVPs, EMFs.
That's another thing I don't get.
What?
During the tour, now it could have been just that place, but I don't know. I haven't been on any other type of tours like this, but they're like, you can take pictures, but you cannot take any videos. Why not?
I don't know.
Okay. Yep. That's all.
Maybe a ghost hunter can explain that to us.
Answer me that question. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Well, Aaron?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.